Abdel Jawad of Egypt has been making camel saddles for 40 years. If you've ridden a camel at the pyramids of Giza, you've been on one of his saddles. In January of 2010, I spent a day in Sharqiya, northeast of Cairo, with Abdel Jawad to learn just how a camel saddle is made. Haj Hassan, a saddle and tack broker who sells camel equipment to camel owners in Giza, made special arrangements for Abdel Jawad to work for the day in a rented space the size of a garage that usually devotes itself and its equipment to building furniture or cutting firewood for area residents. The bandsaw, lathe, planer, drill press, and router had never been used in quite this manner, and the spectacle of the saddle maker created quite a stir in the street running in front of the shop. This was not your average day in Sharqiya, and the owners of the place as well as many passers-by watched eagerly as the project progressed. With only two boomerang-shaped wooden patterns guiding his initial cuts, Abdel Jawad took the trunk of a gezwarine tree and within 3 hours had transformed the precious natural resource into a saddle. Typically, saddles in Egypt are made from the wood of the tamarisk tree, tarfa in Arabic, but in the area where we met, none could be found. Abdel Jawad said the wood of the gezwarine tree would do for the day's demonstration. He cautioned, though, that it wouldn't be as strong as tamarisk, and upon learning I had camels on my farm in Texas, he made me promise not to use it. I assured him it would take an honored place in my home, not in my barn. The purpose of this video isn't to teach you how to make your own camel saddle. It's to celebrate the craftsmanship of a trade that most viewers probably have never given any thought. This was truly one of the best days I've ever spent in Egypt. Rather than use a tape measure, 2 and 3 finger widths guided where Abdel Jawad would mark with a pencil, then drill and cut holes for pegs to hold the saddle together. The cut-offs and castaway pieces not used for the saddle were hurriedly picked up and placed in a bag by 9-year-old Ahmed, Haj Hassan's grandson. Hatab, firewood, Ahmed said. Abdel Jawad's family, far off in the North Sinai Mediterranean town of El Arish, still has 2 factories, churning out the wooden pieces to the tune of 12 to 15 per day, but times aren't as good as they once were. He used to have double the business. Now he devotes 2 other facilities to making doors and windows, and only 3 other men work with him on saddles. Abdel Jawad's saddles are the only ones made in Egypt anymore, and he's proud to say he exports some to Saudi Arabia and Jordan. I asked Abdel Jawad how he feels, knowing that people from all over the planet have sat upon his saddles and returned to their corner of the globe with a picture from their safari in the Sinai or Sahara or their day at the pyramids. Mabsout, happy, he said. As our time together ended, I told the 60-something-year-old I knew he was a good carpenter when I saw his finesse around the swiftly spinning blade of the bandsaw, working each piece of the saddle like a sculptor works a piece of clay. How so? He asked. Because you've still got all 10 fingers, I answered. Alhamdulillah, thanks be to God, was his modest reply.